Ooh, loud music. There we go. Good morning, Saribot. File name. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna post this to Fediverse. Oof. Had some bad news this morning. Okay. Hey, Luna. Whatever. Okay. How you doing? Or maybe that's a loaded question right now. How's Nick? Got some kind of scary news last night and this morning. So, you know, as everyone here knows, I work for Cryptic Studios, the MMORPG developer. And our parent company, I can't get into like any internals of this, so I'll just talk about what's happened externally. Our parent company put out a press release basically saying, as far as I can interpret, there's layoffs. I don't know how heavily Cryptic is going to be affected, because it's a massive parent company, but it's still like, you know, it leaves you a little rattled when it's like, we need happier music today. That'll work. That'll work as just background music. Go with that. Oh, well, thanks, Luna. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's we'll see how it goes. Hey, Claire. Yeah, I think a lot of people, a lot of people close to me are probably afraid right now. Cryptic has been a really wonderful company to work for, so I don't know. I guess I kind of knew that situation couldn't last forever. You know, games industry is the way it is. Thanks for thanks for hydrate, Jade. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. See what happens. I don't actually have any more information than what the parent company just like publicly. So put out a press release. I read it. Full of a lot of like boilerplate language. As you kind of expect from, you know, big press releases like that, right? Fox Girl industry is fluffy. Yeah, speaking of Fox Girls, oh my goodness. I I did the hang on a second. Let me actually show it off. Let's see. I did the Barbie meme with Tux and Xenia. And I think that's like the just like overnight, that's like the most liked and boosted post I've ever done to Fediverse, which is kind of wild. People really like Xenia. It's cool. Hey Aki, how you doing? I should definitely draw more Xenia. Anyway. Oh, this is gonna take a long time to clean up all this line art. My goodness. Oh, this is a mess. It's a sketchy disaster here. What about more Ada? Maybe. Guess I should. Maybe one day I can be cool like Tyson and drawing all the open source mascots. Except the Tyson's like a way better artist than me. Also, when you said Ada, I was like, wait, the programming language? Because like Ada was the first programming language that I was taught in college, which was weird because I already knew C. But like basically the college that I went to, the junior college I went to, was like the people who taught like computer classes there were basically people who were kind of like moonlighting from their jobs working at Vandenberg Air Force Base as, you know, military contractor programmers, and they used data there. Isa does only want to draw art that they design themselves. Oh, okay, interesting. Gotcha. Yeah, I think I get that. Drawing OC is a lot more fun than drawing other people's characters, like, to be honest. Like, oh, what do I do for this detail? Let's go look at the reference versus like, I'm gonna make something up. Until you have like well enough established characters. I knew a person who had like, they had some OCs and they had like a reference page, which is like some of the very earliest art that they drew of the character. They would always go back to as like a thing to be like, you know, I have this here to make sure that this character never changes. Like, ever? Like, you ever feel like maybe you want to change the character? Like, characters evolve over time. Art styles evolve over time. I mean, look at like Deep Space Nine, right? Uh, like, uh, imagine if they had kept Kira's like season 1 hairstyle for the entire series, right? You know, that would it looks way better with the Thor is curled up next to me, by the way, just so you all know. It's Thor o'clock. Really do need to get a cat cam for him. He's here like every morning now. Yeah, this entire stream is probably just gonna be me going through and fixing up line art. This is a complicated drawing to do, so got a lot of sketchy garbage all. Oh, nice. Oh, not good. I guess I should draw. Yeah, I should definitely draw more open source mascots, especially like. Definitely do more like Godot related stuff, considering how much I use it. Later, Thor. Thor has departed. It is no longer Thor o'clock. Oh, darn it. I just realized I screwed up here. Oh. Yeah, that design is symmetrical. Hey, Inlin. Yeah, I think I want to switch off of this music too. Cool. Ooh, that sounds neat. Yeah, we'll go with this. All right. Kevin MacLeod's music is very, very... What? Robo-nap? What? Wait, what? Robo-napping? She's not being kidnapped. She's being... recovered. Fine. That's her girlfriend, all right? Oh, I see where you're going with that. No, they'll nap together. They're part of the greater Kiri's OC polycule. Like, wow, Kiri, all the characters or all your OCs are in one big polycule, even the robots, especially the robots. Alright. Oh my goodness, there's so many lines to clean up. Ah! You know what? This might be like several art streams worth of line art cleanup. Really looking at it, I think that's probably gonna be how it goes down. Yeah. Fine. Robot girlfriend can also toast toast. So yeah, robot girlfriend can toast toast, but you have to only when she gets up earlier than the dragon girlfriend, who also wants to toast toast for the polycule. Legs and tail. Yeah. I actually did some work off stream on this. I fixed up like this whole area right here was kind of messed up. It was actually like there was a leg going forward and then this leg coming back, and so it was going all like Rob Liefeld Captain America on it and stuff. So I went back and fixed it. That was all off stream. Ooh. Those are some defined shoulder muscles. Didn't think I was gonna make her that buff, but you know what? Let's roll with it. Actually, her shoulder needs to go up further to accommodate, to like kind of balance out those triceps. Go all the way back here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. good. Save. Okay. So how's everyone doing this morning? At least I forgot to ask. I didn't even get much done. Hey, Grelson. I didn't even get much done yesterday besides just, like... I drew stuff, and I did work. And ate dinner. And that was it. That was the whole day. Just draw stuff and work. Oh, I did go down to the corner store at one point. Ow! That tuft of hair should probably blend better with the next one. Bit. There we go. That looks a little bit more natural. I am still, like, to this day learning to draw anime hair. So this is the first time I've drawn horns, like, I think this way. Or maybe, I normally don't draw horns, like, that detailed. I think I want to keep doing that. It looks... I am happy with how that looks. Good morning, Catherine. Okay. Imagine drawing curly hair. I have before. So I did fan art of Murthu, who is another VTuber. Unfortunately, they are on like a kind of a rather extended hiatus right now. But wonderful, wonderful streamer. They have very curly hair, and that was actually a challenge to draw, because I don't normally draw curly hair like that. So I definitely need practice in that field. Ah, the Thor has returned. Hey, buddy. Kiddo. Good. Yeah. It's gonna curl up right there? Okay, that's fine. I don't know the different hair types off the top of my head. One of my coworkers is like an expert on that stuff. But yeah. Sorry. Here, let me just give them a shout out. So that you can go check out their channel. Out. You. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. All right. Cool. They haven't streamed in a long time. Or at least as far as I know. Wonderful, wonderful vibes on that channel, though. Like, very, very cozy. We were having a discussion once at work about the hair types, and yeah, that one coworker, like, they're an artist, and they have actually like researched kind of the occurrence of different types of hair in games and stuff, and like tried to figure out like what's the most like commonly represented, and how often do the other ones even show up at all and stuff. And a lot of games only implement straight hair, unfortunately. One of the many reasons why I want to be better at drawing curly hair, which I realize I'm saying that while drawing straight hair, but I also have like really straight hair IRL. Can't remember the last time you've seen a character with curly hair in a game. Yep. Think the only one that pops into mind for me is I think there were some character. I remember, okay, Wolfenstein: The New Order, right? There was, um, there were characters with curly hair. You know, one of the people that the fascists didn't like. It's also kind of want to approach it from like a rendering standpoint because like I haven't really. Oh, I haven't really put as much thought into how to render curly hair. Um, I don't imagine it's going to be that much harder than rendering like straight hair, but um, with straight hair, the bump the normal map for straight hair is pretty straightforward, right? You can literally do like that and generate a like a use that as a height map and then generate a normal map from that and then like and that's hair for like a solid surface thing, but yeah. Um, Again, I'm not saying that it would be harder to render curly hair. I'm just saying I haven't thought about it as much. Yeah, I just gotta try it. The hair 3D modeling techniques I know are also really kind of based around sort of that straight hair in anime style thing. Like the individual clumps here are these like straight like kind of just they look like they're like that, right? It's just like really simple straight slugs with like a ridge on them. And then just kind of like bent into shape, right? With a path. If I were to do that with how would I make curls like I could take like a spirally mesh like that, maybe. And then just like apply a curve to it and use that for the strands. That'd be for like accurately, more or less accurately modeling it, I guess. Um, Now what are the shortcuts? How would you represent like an entire volume of hair as like, you know, I don't know, hair shape, right? How would you make like all of this look curly? It would just be one surface of polygons still, right? And then it would have a material it's made up of um a bump like a normal map um and various other output parameters and stuff like that. So I guess the question is really how do you generate the normals for that? Also, you know what? I guess other parameters would kind of have to follow the curve like that. Hmm. Hmm. I'll think about it. I'm gonna think about it. The seed has been planted in the ADHD brain, and now it will not be able to stop. I have no choice but to think about the problem. Okay. Oh wait, does that right? Hydrating again. Oh, I just poured iced tea right down my cleavage. Oh, good job, Kiri. All right, posture check time. It's a little bit stiff, but I think we're gonna survive. Draw a character with curly hair. I'll do it. I'll do it for another drawing. I'm not gonna change this drawing to have curly hair. We're already like pretty far into this one. I gotta get better at different face shapes too, because I tend to draw the same face over and over and over again. And of having it look way too flat, yeah. There's like you have to. I mean, you still give it like curves and stuff for the shape of the head, and it's floofy, right? Like it's you have like your head, and then you have this. The hair doesn't just go like that, right? It starts and it's going that direction coming out of the head, and then gravity applies, and then it comes down, right? I mean, it does that for the entire head. Like the hairline is, all of these points are sticking out like that, and then gravity comes and yeah, this right here is how I draw hair. Oh yeah. No, just kidding. Um, it is kind of how I draw hair. I don't know. Actually, I have a really simple technique that I use to draw hair, but the problem is that it ends up looking really similar every time I do it. Like actually here, let me show you all how I draw hair in like the simplest terms. Or in the simplest way I can demonstrate. So you have your head, and then I draw the bangs, or called fringes in other regions, like this. I can do that. So the fringes are always kind of like always go in one direction. They're not just like straight up and down. But if I did do straight up and down, it would still be there'd still be a little bit of like directionality to it and stuff. And then you got to do the top, so you end up with like this sort of like tribble just sitting right there on the forehead, um, and then everything else after that. So like that's kind of the really important one. Everything else after that is just like stuff kind of hanging off the sides, you know. I do tend to draw a lot of hair like right here, because I think it looks cute. It's that like that little tuft of hair that's kind of like protruding into where the face goes, which is why you see it right here. And well, it's not happening right here. I could make it happen right here. Um, but it's still like there's still hair in front of the ears. So, yeah. That's it. And that's how I draw straight hair. So I obviously can't apply that technique to drawing curly hair. Too. Girl must be really heckin' strong. Yep. That's the advantage of dating monster girls, is they can all just like pick you up and carry you away off to their dungeons. I mean bedrooms. You know what I mean. Dungeon bedrooms. Same difference really. Treasure hoard. I'm going to pick you up and carry you off to meet my polycule. The music got really, really quiet. I have to turn it back up. There we go. Do music at 3 a.m. Yeah. We have a basement here, but it is very, very not soundproof. I kind of wish we could improve that. I don't know how practical it's going to be to actually improve though. We've actually had a problem lately, like with there's like one person on our street that just drives something with a very noisy exhaust, and every night they decide that like, hey, it's midnight, let's just get in the car and like gun it. So hear this like really, really, really loud thing just like zoom down the street. Though I did hear there was one time recently where we heard it like start to rev up really, really fast, and then we suddenly heard like police sirens. Been a little bit quieter since then. Almost like maybe they were waiting for them to do it again. Probably a Honda? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think it made less noise than my, I have music that's too loud now. I have a 1974 Jeep CJ5, and it's got an engine swap to an AMC 401, which is a 6.6 liter V8. Like way too big of an engine for that vehicle, and it's got pretty much a straight pipe, almost. It's got those really useless like pass through mufflers that don't actually do anything. That thing is very noisy, but I'm also like considerate about how I drive it. So like I don't drive it at night. I don't drive it through neighborhoods all the time stuff. Actually just kind of hangs around until I want to go off-roading. It's more or less just an off-roading toy. The only time that I would use it for actual like getting around town is if if both the truck and the Jeep were somehow out of commission. Or sorry, the truck and the other Jeep were out of commission. Yeah, and motorcycles are pretty noisy too. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. Yeah, normally the noise around here isn't too bad. At least I kind of I do everything at the like the back end of the house, so I'm further away from the street than almost the entire house. Uh, I don't usually have to put up with it. Hmm. Middle-aged rich dudes. I don't have many. I don't have very many opinions on motorcycle culture, so I can't really comment on Harleys versus not. The idea of building a chopper does sound kind of cool. I'll be entirely honest about that. You crash, you die. Yeah, so don't crash. Ugh. I got a lot of opinions about vehicle safety. um, I don't ride a motorcycle. All of my vehicles are from like the 80s and 90s and the 70s. 70s, 80s, and 90s. I have one vehicle from the 70s, one vehicle from the 80s, and one vehicle from the 90s. The all of them are too slow to do anything like, well, not too slow. They're the right amount of slow. All of them are slow enough that I'm not going to get in trouble for driving too fast, basically. Um, Trouble, be it legal trouble or trouble as in an accident. Well, any more accident. Not where I wanted that line to go. I think the YJ like tops out at like 85 miles an hour. Like flat out, won't go faster than that. Key to riding motorcycles, what, don't get in a crash? As long as you're not crashing, you're safe. Hey, John, how you doing? Today we are just continuing on the stuff that we were doing yesterday, cleaning up the line art still. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Um, there are a lot of like, what's the word? A lot of people who are like who think that they're gonna enforce the road laws themselves on motorcyclists doing like lane splitting and stuff. Those people make the whole situation even more dangerous. Lane splitting is legal in California, just to be clear. But a lot of people are still under the perception that it's not, and they will they will attempt to enforce this law that doesn't exist on motorcyclists. That starts becoming a problem. Things like trying to like ride too close to the lane or drive too close to the lane to prevent them from lane splitting, stuff like that. Lane splitting is, in a lot of ways, it's actually safer for motorcyclists, because you're less likely to get rear-ended. I've been in a lot of car accidents, and most of them have been me being rear-ended. A lot of the time, it's been by someone, using their phone in traffic, like stop and go traffic, right? If you're on a motorcycle, those rear endings go from being really annoying to being deadly. So if you're not even like in that in the line of fire because you're lane splitting and you're like between the lanes, all the better. Hmm. There's time for car drivers. Yeah, like I mean, so keep in mind that I'm also talking from the perspective of someone who has dealt with like 3 hours per day of commuting at some jobs before, namely Google, um, because because of Bay Area traffic. Like Bay Area traffic is the worst. If you have a motorcycle and you can just skip all that, that's awesome. That just sounds like a crash from someone not using their turn signals properly, or not looking over their shoulder as they should before every time they change lanes. I am half the drivers are maniacs who almost want to get into crash. You know what? It's kind of weird. Like, everyone says the drivers from the area they live in are insane. If you live in a city, it's just like natural to be like, oh yeah, drivers from so and so city are totally crazy and stuff. And I'm starting to wonder if that's maybe less related to the city and more just how people drive. Drivers here are okay. Okay, that's the first time I've ever heard an opinion like that. But Echo is in a more civilized country than the U.S., so maybe I can accept that. Oh, they would not like me because when I'm driving, I'm normally like 5 under the speed limit. I drive like a grandma. I stick in the slow lane, of course. I mean, I'm not being a jerk about it. But oh my goodness, there was one time I was driving over Highway 17, like hi, I live in Santa Cruz, um, and there was someone behind me with their high beams on. It was at night, and I'm driving in the slow lane. There's no one else on the road. Someone comes right up behind me and starts just like riding my butt with their high beams on. It's like, hey, just like just pass me. There's no one else here. Just pass me. Just get off. And so I start slowing down, and they don't pass me. I slow down, and they don't pass me, and I get down to like 20 miles an hour and on this freeway, before they like finally decide to pass me. But outside of the chaotic traffic here is that nobody has the guts. Good. Yeah, drivers on Highway 17 is like if you drive over Highway 17 at night, guaranteed, you will at some point, if you're going the speed limit or below the speed limit like I do, guaranteed someone's gonna come up behind you with their high beams on. Like it happens like every single time for me. And then they'll just sit there with their high beams on. It's like one of the really big reasons why I really appreciate the fact that I don't have to commute right now. Yeah, I have a rear view mirror with a high beam mode also. It doesn't do enough because like it's not just the mirror, it's filling up the entire like the entire my entire Jeep gets filled up with light, and then it becomes very hard to see the road. Um, like my Jeep is it's small. It's not lifted. It's pretty close to the ground. And so like if a truck comes up behind me with high beams or something, then it's just like the entire cabin area or whatever is filled with light, and I can't see the road as easily. I can more easily see my reflection in the windshield than I can the road itself. Uh, Glitchy Beta, do not do that. I've seen a lot of brake checks end really horribly. Like, I mean, you know, what's gonna happen after a brake check where there's an actual, like, accident? Like, it's not... Person's not gonna pop out of their car calmly holding their insurance information and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, that was my fault. They're gonna come out and they're gonna punch you. Yeah, I try to let them pass. Like I said, that one time I was driving, I got down to like 20 miles an hour or something. And it's like a freeway with like speeds go from like 65 to 55 miles an hour along that road, but like I was down at like 20 miles an hour, just being like, just go already. Come on, there's no one else here. Just go. Just go. Oh yeah, if they can prove you brake check them, if they had like a dash cam or something, it's totally your fault. Also, one of the reasons that I have a dash cam, in case someone brake checks me, or like cuts me off and brake checks me. Dash cam, by the way, hey! By the way, having a dash cam has actually saved me on at least one insurance claim. There was a woman who pulled out of a stop sign, or pulled out from a stop sign, like right in front of me. Just didn't, like, she just rolled through the stop sign, actually. She didn't stop. I had right of way, and she T-boned me. At a very slow speed, thankfully. Thanks for head pats. And then she said it was my fault. And she argued and argued and argued, and the police showed up. She refused to give me her insurance information. And then the police showed up, and she said she called me a liar, like, to the police. And then I showed the cop the dash cam footage, and the cop was like, "Oh, geez, okay, yeah, all right, you can go. I'm gonna deal with the rest here. Here's the incident report, and you know, you'll be able to get the insurance information from there." And then, okay, so that's where the story starts. That's where the story starts. So, I give my insurance information because that's what you're required to do when you get in an accident. I left the scene without her insurance information because she refused to give it to me. She also was demanding that I pay for a tow truck, to get her vehicle towed away because she was so convinced that it was my fault. The dash cam footage very clearly exonerates me, by the way. So, I get a phone call from my insurance company. It's like, yo, person's filed a claim against you. You got anything to say about that? And it's like, I have more than something to say. I have a video about it. And so I send them the video, and they were like, oh yeah, that's her fault. Yeah, no, that's totally 100% her fault. And I get a letter in the mail saying, you know, pretty much that, a few weeks later, right? And it's like, great. The problem is settled. And then I got another one. I got another mail saying the same thing. We've done an investigation and found out that you're 0% at fault and she is 100% at fault. Like, oh, that's weird. Why did I get a second one of these? And it occurred to me, she appealed it. Because she's still convinced that she's right. And then I got a phone call from the insurance company, my insurance company. And they were like, yeah, so this person is now threatening to sue us and wants to sue you. So if she comes after you, let us know. Pay for a lawyer for you. Oh, all right. Wow, I didn't know that was covered by the insurance. That's awesome. That was actually the last I heard from that person, because at around the same time the accident happened, I was going through my name change process. And I was moving to a new place. So I literally, like, moved and changed my name. And, she had the dead name. On top of all that, she thought I was my daughter. He was gonna have a rough time trying to track me down. But yeah, because like I was far enough into the transition at that point that I was passing, like fem passing and stuff. And but the driver's license photo that I had was still like that had like a beard in it. um and so she thought that I was using someone else's driver's license or something like that. And so when the insurance people initially called me, they said, "So it's your daughter that was driving?" It's like, no, 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 no. It was me. That was just me. Also, by the way, I'd like to update my name in your system. At the same time. Like, literally the same phone call. It's like, "Hi, I'm trans. I look like a girl now." She apparently thought I was someone else. But, yeah, if we could update my name to my new name in your system while we're at it, I would really appreciate that. And they did. Oh, save. Okay. Funny trans adventures, yeah. I never pursued a claim against her because the damage to the Jeep was so minor. Her car was messed up though. Like the entire like front end had been kind of ripped off. Entire like bumper and all the plastic stuff on the front side. Might have been damaged to the radiator too. I don't know. Her like I drove off, her vehicle got towed away. Let's just say that. She tried to say, oh yeah, when I showed the dash cam footage to the cop, she tried to claim that it was from another accident. My Jeep is still sitting in the spot that the footage ends at, mind you. Like, I literally, like, came to a stop at that point, and I was still there. Kind of, like, sideways in the roadway. So it's like, unless I had an accident at that exact spot, ended up in that exact position, and collided with a car of the exact same make, model, year, and color. And forged the timestamp. So the cop wasn't buying it. I was just trying to drive across, like, I was basically just trying to drive across the street to get to the, there's a Target that was like a block or two away. I was literally just driving to the Target store, and like, so, you know, I went to the Target store, did my thing, was heading back home, and saw her car getting loaded up onto the tow truck flatbed. So yeah, fun times. Thank goodness I changed my name and my address. Wonder what I was going to the store to get that day. Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry. The whole moral of that entire story is this: get a dash cam. The amount you spend on a dash cam is going to be a lot cheaper than the cost of the accident that it saves you from having to pay for. Get a dash cam, and then you know, don't be at fault. It's pretty easy to not be at fault. Just, you know, don't drive recklessly. Stop at stop signs, all that stuff, you know? But yeah, seriously, get a dash cam. Like, you should definitely have it. Everyone should just have a dash cam. It'll save your butt. It won't happen immediately. Like, I had been driving with a dash cam for years and years and years, and occasionally, like, it came in handy when there was an accident that I witnessed, and I could provide evidence for who was actually at fault. But no, it actually saved me that time. Years later, after starting to drive with a dash cam. They're illegal in Portugal, huh? Sounds odd. There are people who say it's illegal in California, but they are incorrect also. Yeah. The privacy. Sting. Oh, a country with like robust privacy laws. Who would have thought of that? Um, California has a specific law around dash cams that says that like dash cams have to have all these like specific requirements, and they can't record audio and blah 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 blah. But that thing is that doesn't actually apply to all dash cams. The section of the law that's under in the California like code is it's under a law restricting things that you attach to your windshield. So my dash cam isn't attached to my windshield. So basically, it's illegal to attach something to your windshield that would be like an obstruction. Exceptions exist, such as dash cams that have this set of properties. And so what a lot of people read like the very small kind of just like list of requirements for the dash cam in that and think that applies to all dash cams. The dash cam that I have in my truck is actually attached to like the thing right above the windshield, like a part of the trim above the windshield. Not actually attached to the windshield itself. But like that entire section just doesn't apply to my dash cam. Same with the dash cam that I have in the YJ. It's not a loophole. It's like it's that it's not even it's not that whole section of law doesn't apply. It's a law. There's a law against windshield obstructions. It's not a windshield obstruction. Hey, Zara. What logic led to the recording audio thing? I have a feeling that it was probably like a taxi cab thing, like dash cams being used on like commercial taxis and things like that, not wanting to get like private conversations of taxi users, maybe, or wanting to restrict something that would record the private conversations of people like that. That's the only thing I can really. That's my guess. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the justification behind it. Actually, I have this cool like 3D printed shell for the dash cam on my Jeep so that it can kind of sort of semi-securely, like you'd have to pry it off, be stored in the Jeep even with the top and doors down. I think I want to upgrade it. I want to go for like an aluminum shell on that part. Dash cam lives inside of it basically. Oop. Oops. Abs. Robot abs. I did the abs. You know what? That's still kind of... There we go. I install an aftermarket radio in it. Yeah, both the YJ and the truck have aftermarket stereos. The truck actually has for the truck it originally like stock had a single DIN like head unit port thing. I actually modified it. Like I installed a new bezel, cut away a bunch of the panel, and converted it to a double DIN unit. And now I have an Atoto A6 head unit in there with like I did all the wiring for like a backup camera and the dash camera and like everything. So it's all like my 95 F250 has a backup camera now, and it's pretty cool. I did all the work myself. We're about 15 minutes over time, so I gotta start looking into wrapping this up soon. Now, this is a really complicated drawing with a lot of lines. Also, so like this is the cleaned up section, except the robot. We haven't done anything on the robot girl's face yet, but this is the cleaned up section, and this is the not cleaned up section. Tell like how different they are now. That's coming along. I like this one. Also, I'm gonna show off my art from yesterday again. The Linux mascot Barbie meme thing. I'm actually really happy with how Xenia turned out here. Like, I need to draw her more. Anyway, let's go ahead and find someone to raid. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish all those lines over the course of this stream. Oh. Let's raid Snacky. I'm gonna get that raid message up. So Snacky is currently playing Risk of Rain 2. That... Open up. Back. Alright. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for joining me for another weekday morning art stream. I really appreciate having y'all here. You're all awesome and amazing. Send my love to Snacky. Hope y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. We're almost done with the week. And by that, I mean just barely starting. Hope y'all have a fantastic Tuesday, or in the rest of your day, or whatever you need to do. Yeah, hope to see you all next time. All right, have a good one. Bye.